everyone, this is Shashank sir. Welcome to my YouTube channel Edu2Free. In the previous video session, we had talked about some common terminology used in programming language. If you didn't see that video, you can see by clicking on this I button. So in today's session, I will talk about step-by-step learning process of any programming language. If we talk about C, C++, Java, so we will see there is a step-by-step learning process which is common to all programming language. So that is your basics of all programming language part 2. If we talk about any language like English, Hindi or any language, so you have to learn from some basics first. You will learn about alphabets of that particular programming language. That is your, if you're talking about simple language, and that is part of your programming language. Programming language. So if you are learning any language like English, so you need to learn first alphabets like A, B, C, D. Okay. If you are learning Hindi language, so you have to learn Kaka Gaga. So these are the alphabets of each and every simple language. If you talk about English, Hindi, Latin, Spanish, so you have to learn the alphabets first. So after learning alphabets, you will create a word. You will learn how to create a word. So because word is a combination of alphabets. If we talk about the sentence, the combination of these words form a sentence. Okay. And after that, you will learn how to make a paragraph by using these sentences. So paragraph is a combination of sentences. Okay. And sentence is a combination of words, and words is a combination of alphabets. Similarly, if we talk about any programming language like C, C++, Java, Python, any programming language, each and every programming language has its own character set. That is your what? That is your, you know, alphabets. You can say that alphabets, digits, numbers, special characters. So each and every programming language has its own character set. And after that, you will learn how to form a token. Token is similar to the what? It is word. It is a word in programming language. We will discuss in the upcoming slides. And what is instruction? Instruction is a combination of, or you can say that collection of tokens. And what is program? Program is a collection of instructions. And you know very well how to make a software, because software is a collection of programs and program is a collection of instructions, and instructions is given by the user in any programming language, okay, to perform any kind of task by the computer system. So any programming language, you have to learn first character set. After that, you have to learn some tokens and then instructions, and then you will learn how to make a program in a particular programming language. So if you talk about character set, every language has its own character set. Each and every language has its own character set. Uppercase alphabets, lowercase alphabets, these are the, capital ABC, small ABC, digits 0 to 9, decimal values, special symbols, you know very well, negation, not, at the rate, has, right? If we talk about white space, that is single space, and tab and new line, that is basically slash n. So these are the characters as basically used in different programming language. Now if we talk about tokens, what is tokens? So tokens are the smallest element or a unit of a program. Okay, let's take an example. Computer is an electronic machine. Suppose that this is a sentence, simple sentence in English. That is English sentence, computer is an electronic machine. If we talk about this sentence, computer, that is our subject. Is what is our helping verb. An is our article. And if we talk about electronic machine, that is our object, right? So similarly, what is token? Token are the words. These are the words. These are tokens in programming language. And there are different types of tokens, like simple English language. simple sentence, there is a subject, there is a helping verb, there is an article, there is an object. Similarly, each tokens is divided in different parts, okay, according to the nature, right? So if we talk about the tokens are the smallest element, or you can say that unit of a program. It is also called lexical units, right? So words are the tokens in programming language, that is in simple language, that is programming language. Words are called tokens. Sentence are called instructions in programming language. And combination of words form a sentence. Similarly, combination of tokens form a instruction. Okay. Now this is an example. If we talk about the tokens, each and every term is a token. That is token. That is a keyword. That is also a keyword, because keyword is a part of token. It is a type of token. That's why I'm saying that it is also a keyword, because this comes in a punctuations, parentheses, and okay. It is also a token. It is also a token. These are the variables. These are the assignment operator. These are the literals values. All these things are what? These are tokens. This is a token, this is a token, this is a token, this operator is also a token. So if we talk about the tokens, so tokens have different types, like keyword, okay, variables, literals, operators, and symbols. Okay, as you can see, this keywords, identifier means the variables, literals means the values, operator means the operations that you have to perform, punctuator means symbols, special characters, right? So we will see one by one. What is keyword? Keywords are the reserved words. What is keywords? These are the words which are predefined, predefined by any language, predefined words, right? So keywords are predefined words that have special meaning to the language compiler or interpreter, right? So these keywords cannot be used as a identifier names. That is the rule. Rule of writing identifier. Rule of writing, you can say that variables. If you are defining the name of any variable in a programming language, so there is a rule, you cannot use keyword as a variable name, okay, in any programming language. So that is common. So these are the keyword. If you're talking about int, integer, float, main, if, while, for, break, case, these are the keywords. These are the special words, you can say that have special meaning of that particular compiler of that particular language, right? Now come to the identifier. Identifier is also known as variable. Okay, the identifier words comes from identity. Identity means pehchan, if we talk about. Okay, so these are basically names given to a different parts of program, like variables, variables name, function name, objects name, classes names, etc. So every language has its own naming rule. If we talk about C, C++, Java, Python, each and every language has its own variable name, okay, its own identity, its own naming rule. Okay, so I am talking about the C language, that is int main, that is our integer main, that is our keyword, right? We talk about that is our keyword, that is our a, that is our variable name, that is our variable name. Printf, that is keyword. Hello world, this is a string value. Return, that is also a keyword. So there is only one variable, that is a. Why we are using a variable? Variables are used to store some kind of value. Okay, suppose that there is a value. If you want to add two large numbers, the first number is 248489754 plus 98675432159. Suppose that you want to add two numbers and you are using this number again and again in a programming language, any programming language. And so there is a need to store this value in a particular variable. I'm storing this value in a variable A and this value in a variable B. So it means you can use this value by not defining that value. You can write in place of this value, you can write A, and in place of this value, you can write B. So that is the purpose of variable. Okay. So that you can save your memory space. So these are the variables names given to the different part of program like variable, function, object, class, etc. Clear? Now come to the next, literals. Literals are known as values. Sometimes it is known as, constants. It is also known as data items, or sometimes it is also known as data value. Okay, so literals means values or data items that have fixed value, that is constant, like pi 3.14, that is fixed value, fixed, right? Literals are also known as constant. Every language has its own literals, such as numerical literals, string literals, boolean literals, special literals. Numerical literals, if we talk about like integer, float, integer value, float values. String literals, if we talk about string values. Boolean literals, if we talk about that is true or false. If we talk about special literals, so if we talk about Python language, there is a non-special literals. So different programming language has different special literals, right? Now, if we talk about the operators, operators are used to perform some operations, computation, action on values. Values means operand. It is also known as operands, right? So some common operators for all programming language. If we talk about the first one, that is arithmetic operator. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, that is power symbol, double asterisk symbol, that is power used in Python. That is floor division, that is also used in Python. Floor division, right? If we talk about assignment operator, that is equal, plus equal, minus equal, we will learn one by one. Multiplication equal, division equal. Okay. Next one is relational operator. Relational operator to show the relation between two entity or two data items. Logical operator like logical and, logical or, logical not. Bitwise operator, and operator, bitwise and, bitwise or, bitwise or, bitwise not. Okay, left shift, right shift, left shift. So next is unary operator, that is increment operator, decrement operator. So we will discuss these operator one by one. If we talk about first, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, and modular division. So there are two values I'm taking. Suppose that the value of A is 5 and the value of B is 6. So 5 and 6 are the literals. Basically, these are the tokens, and 5 and 6 are the which type of token? That is literal type, that is variable type, and that is what assignment type. I will discuss in next slide. So addition is for performing addition, A plus B. Subtraction is for performing subtraction. Multiplication is for multiplication. Division is for division. What is the difference between division and floor division? Floor division always gives integer result. It is a simple division, but it gives only integer value as a resultant. But this simple division gives float value at the in the resultant form. Okay. And what about the modular and modulus? That is this symbol, percentage symbol. So it will gives always remainder value. Remainder value. The next operator is assignment operator. What is assignment operator? Assignment operator means you are assigning some value into a variable. Here there is a variable, there is a b variable, and you are assigning the value of 10 in a variable and you are assigning the value 2 in b variable. So that is your assignment operator. If we talk about b plus equal operator, it means that is b is equal to b plus 5. What is the meaning of this symbol? B is equal to b plus, and there is a value. Whatever the right side the value is, you have to add on this b part, means any variable. Okay, so b is equal to, here the value of b is 2, 2 plus 5, that is 7. Now next, if we talk about a minus equal, it means a is equal to a minus 2. So the value of a is 10 and the value you have to subtract, that is 2. So resultant will be 8. If we talk about a into equal to 2, it means a is equal to a into 2. You know very well the value of a is 10 and multiply by 2, that is 20. Similarly, a is equal to a divided by 5. So what is the value of a? That is 10 divided by 5, that is 2. Now come to the next operator, that is relational operator. As the word says relational, it means it shows the relation between two operands. If we talk about a less than b, here I am taking two values, a is equal to 7, b is equal to 10. That is variable name, that is literal value. Okay, that is variable name, that is literal value. It means we are comparing two values. The value of a is 7 and the value of b is 10. So it is true. 10 is always greater than 7. So you can say it is true, or you can say it gives the value 1. It means whatever the instruction written inside this condition will execute. Okay, here 7 is greater than 10. No, false. So whatever the instruction written inside this condition will not execute because it goes false. Okay, if you talk about a greater than equal to b, it means either greater or equal. 7 is neither greater nor equal to 10, so it will give false. A less than equal, either equal or either less than, or equal. 7 is less than, so this condition is satisfied, it means it gives true, or you can say that 1. Here you can say that 0. If we talk about a equal b, so here this is a comparison operator. 7 is equal to 10. No, the value of a is not equal 10. It means it will give false result. It means 0. That is not equal. That is a symbol of not. Okay, so a not equal to 10. Yes, 7 is not equal to 10. It will give true. You can say that 1. Now come to the next logical operator. So there are some conditions that is known as logical AND. The first one is logical AND, second one is logical OR, and third one is logical NOT. You can say that this symbol. Okay, so there is a condition that is C1 condition 1, that is C2 condition 2, C1 C2 C1 C2. In logical AND case, if the first condition is true and second condition is also true, so resultant will be true. If first condition is true, second condition is false, so it will give false. If first condition is false, second condition is true, it gives again false. If both condition false, it gives false result. It means the logical AND, if both the condition should be true. In logical AND condition, both condition must be true. Here we will check a greater than b. The value of a is 10, is greater than b. B is the value of b is 6. That is right. Now it should be right. If you want to execute the instruction, whatever instruction written inside this if statement, both conditions should be true because here that is AND symbol. What is the value of B? That is 6. 6 is less than 8. That is also right. So both the condition is true. So it will true. It means it will execute. If we talk about this logical OR, the first condition is true, second condition is true, it will gives true. First condition is true, second condition false, it again is it gives true. First false, second true, again true. If both the condition false, it gives false. So here it is a conclusion that any one of the condition must be true. Any one of the condition must be true, either both condition or one of the condition. So if we check A is greater than B, yes, that is true. B less than C, that is also true. So both the condition is true. That's why this condition is true. It means whatever the instruction written inside this statement, this condition, it will execute. Okay. Now come to this symbol. It means there is only one condition, that is resultant. If there is a condition is true, it gives false. If the condition is false, it will give true value. That is a negation, you can say that. So A is greater than C, where value of A is 10 and the value of C is 8. So this condition is true, but whatever the instruction written inside this condition will execute only when, because there is a symbol is not symbol is there, when this condition goes false. Okay, so you know very well 10 is greater than 8, so this condition will not execute the instruction whatever is written inside this statement. Okay, now come to the next bitwise operator. So these are the bitwise operator, bitwise OR. Both the condition are true, both the condition should false, then resultant will be false. If both the condition are true, then resultant will be true in bitwise AND. Bitwise XOR operator, that is XOR operator symbol. Both the condition either true or false, then false, otherwise each and every situation or condition it gives true. Complement, true ka false, false ka true. Left shift the number of bits towards left side and shift the number of bits towards right side. We will see one by one. Okay, now come to the next. Suppose that there is a value of A. A is 5. So in bitwise operator, you have to convert each and every decimal number into a binary number. So you have to convert this decimal number into binary number first. That is 4-bit binary representation. That is 8421. What is the value of 5? So you have to on this bit and of these bits. Okay, we are talking about B is equal to 3. So what is the value of 3? 0 0 1 1. So that is the representation, binary representation. If we talk about, that is what, that is our bitwise OR operator. That is bitwise of OR operator. The condition of bitwise OR operator is that both the condition should be false, then it will gives false result. Okay, okay, and both the condition is true, it gives true. Both, if one of the condition is true, one of the condition is false, it gives true. False, true, it gives true. So we talk about a bitwise OR, that is a bitwise OR operator. Okay, so that is the condition 0 1 0 1 and 0 0 1 1. So second one is, that is bitwise AND operator. That is what, that is your bitwise XOR operator. Okay, so if we talk about this value, so I'm going to add this value 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1. That is what, that is in the case of this bitwise OR, both the bits are false. It means it gives false. False means 0. That is 1. That is 1. That is 1. So the resultant will be 0. Here one bit is true, second bit is off, so it will give 1. 0 1, it means this value give 1, and both are 1, means both are true, it will gives 1. So resultant value is what, this one, 8 4 2 1. What is the value of this one? 4 plus 2 plus 1, so that is 7. Similarly you can find A and B, A is or B, and negation A. What is the purpose of negation A? It means it change the value. suppose that there is a value of a is 0 1 0 1, so it will negate. In place of 0 it will create 1, in place of 1 it creates 0. So that will be the value 8 4 2 1, 2 plus 8, that is 10. Okay, that is shift operator, that is left shift or right shift. So this operator works on basically two operands, that is a, that is the number, and this is operand. It means the number of bits you want to shift either left side or right side. Here this is a symbol of left side, so it means it is the number of bits you want to shift left side. And if you are taking this symbol, it means the number you want to 2 bits you want to shift right side. So that is for left shifting and right shifting. If we talk about unary operator, what is the value of a is equal to 4? If I'm talking about this c is equal to a, then plus plus. So first this will assign this value of a into c. So what will be the value of c? The value of c will become 4, and after that it will increase its own value, and the what will be the value of a? This will become 5. We talk about this value, that is pre-increment, that is post increment, that is pre-increment. So what will be the value of d? That is plus plus. Plus plus is what? It will increment itself first. So what will be the value of a? The value of a become 4. 4 plus 1, that is 5, and the value of d, then it will assign to the d same, so that will 5 also. If we talk about this one, x is equal to b minus minus post decrement, so it will assign the first value in x. What is the value of b? That is 5, and that it will decrease its own value by 1, and that is what pre-decrement. So what will the value of b? First it will decrement itself 4, and then it will assign to the y, that is 4. So that's is unary operator. If we talk about the punctuators, so punctuators are the symbols that are used in programming language to organize any programming structure, any program structure. That's column symbol, semicolon, hash symbol, at the rate symbol, parenthesis, braces, brackets. So these are the punctuators. Okay, so these are the symbols. Now class, that's all about this session. Thank you for watching.